And in fact, we in the app, we have an app that's associated with it, and in that app is a thing on do you have to filter your water, and we let you put in your zip code and address, and you can use some, if you will, known databases to find out what contaminants there are and what filter is best for you. I never used to think you had to filter your water, but when you look at the data, it's pretty clear that there's a lot of contaminants in water, and so if you drink in drinking water, and if you drink a lot of water, you probably, as most of us do. So the general recommendation is we protect ourselves and our osmolality very well. So usually you get thirsty and you don't, but as you get older, you don't, you want to, and in hot weather, as you're having now, I guess, you got to make sure you do it. So I like to have 8 12-ounce glasses a day myself. Now, they say you should have 1 ounce per kilogram of weight, which would be 64 or so for the average, 65 for the average person. I actually probably go way over that because between coffee, I drink 8 cups of coffee as well as water a day. So, and coffee is something, if you're a fast metabolizer, coffee is associated with a reduced risk of 9 cancers, a reduced risk of liver disease and fatty liver disease and type 2 diabetes, 20 to 25% reduced, and a reduced risk of dementia, and Parkinson's disease. So the more coffee, if you're a fast metabolizer, how do you tell if you're a fast metabolizer? Well, you can get a gene assay. It turns out if you get a gene assay, I'm supposed to be a slow metabolizer, but I have 12 cups a day, or 8 cups a day rather, of 12 ounces, and I don't get a headache, gastric upset, anxiety, or abnormal heartbeats when I drink one of these in an hour. So, although my gene assay says I'm a slow metabolizer, I didn't know that before I started having that much coffee and don't have a problem from it.
And what time of the day is your last cup of coffee?
Doesn't matter. I used to, when I drank, this is confessions, okay? So you probably know I used to drink a lot of Diet Dr. Pepper. I quit September 4th, 2010. I was drinking 36 12-ounce cans a day. And Dr. Oz did an intervention on me. He and my secretary connived or conspired to intervene on me live on TV. So that was my last one, September 4th, 2010 at 4:20 p.m. So I still have that last Dr. Pepper here. I used to have to, when I lived in each city, I would have to become friends with the distributor to get a pallet, to get 7 pallets delivered a month, so that they would deliver 7 pallets. It was like I was a store, right? I would go through that much Diet Dr. Pepper. But anyway, so I used to when I was at the FDA, Carl Peck, who was head of the drug division when I was on the advisory committees, came up to me and said, "You must have to wake up at night to have one of these to make sure your level doesn't fall down so you don't withdraw." And he was right. I used to wake up in the middle of the night to have a Diet Dr. Pepper. So I don't apparently have a problem, and I've induced whatever it is, enzymes, metabolize caffeine, and have kept on it. And so my last cup of coffee is usually around 6 or 7 p.m.
Wow. And you're able to sleep just fine?
I sleep just fine. So the interesting thing is I used to go off of caffeine from 2010 till about 2018 or 19. I would go off for 1 week a month, just go cold turkey. The first day was tough because you get caffeine withdrawal, but after that I wouldn't have a problem, and I'd try and, if you will, think I was detoxing my system. In 2000 and I can't remember, it was 18 or 19, I decided it's not worth the effort. Because the more data you read, the more benefits you see in drinking black coffee. So that's not to advocate it for everyone, but it is to say that there are benefits. It's clearly much more beneficial than alcohol, if there is a benefit to alcohol, but there is a substantial benefit to caffeine if you're a fast metabolizer. The data on red wine versus white wine versus other alcohol is forged. That is, the person who did most of the work is in jail now because he defrauded the U.S. government with the in grant requests showing how red wine was better than white wine. That isn't true. It is all alcohol has the same benefits in decreasing, if you will, arterial aging. It increases immune aging and to a slight degree brain aging. And consequently, you have to say what the balance is. The best data now is French data in some large epidemiologic trials that show that 3 or 4 days a week for men of 1 to 2 glasses of alcohol or wine, doses of alcohol or wine a day, those 3 or 4 days, and that can be spirits or wine or beer, actually. And the 3 or 4 days a week of 1 to 2 glasses for men, half to 1.5 for women, is in fact the lowest rate of overall aging and lowest rate of all-cause mortality. It turns out that the U-shaped curve, which is if you look at a U curve, meaning all-cause mortality on the up-down axis and dose of alcohol here, the U-shaped curve is very thin. So in people without a risk of alcohol abuse who haven't had it, there is a slight increase all-cause mortality from 0 drinks and more than 2 in men, but it is a very slow slope, a very small slope curve, so there's not much benefit overall.
So would it be fair to say, if you're not a drinker, don't start drinking alcohol just for the health benefits?
Well, there is very little health. As you know, I read everything in aging. So 3 major stressful events in any 1 year: 32 years older, having 6 friends and a purpose in life. If you have those, 2 years older. So stress is a 32-year event from worst to best, and stress management a 30-year event. Food choices, 27 years from the worst diet to the best. Physical activity, about 10 years from nothing to optimal. Wine or alcohol, about a 0.2-year effect. So it's a very small effect compared to having friends. Now, one of the real benefits of alcohol, though, is its socialization.
Right.
So if you use it solely for socialization, then it probably has a bigger benefit because you have the friend benefit. So, but alcohol per se, very small, 0.2 years.